Hey guys, welcome to the channel. It's Koala Kobo here. We're gonna be reviewing and going over the season of the Last of Us. It just ended, but before we talk about it, please like and subscribe if you want to hear more of my thoughts on this type of stuff, this nerdy stuff. But yeah, let's keep on going. So that last episode was beat for beat what happens. But there were some changes. Again, spoilers for The Last of Us. But I like that, we kept the giraffe scene. I'm glad that it was a real giraffe. I'm glad we kept that. The reason why Ellie was immune is very interesting. Um, I didn't think about it like that. I just thought that, the new generation is growing and they already build up an immune to this thing or whatever the hell. But having Ellie be immune because the mother, got bit as a which who also was Ellie. That was Ellie giving birth to Ellie. It was an Ellieception. But that happening and that's triggering Ellie's you know, Ellie's immune to the whole thing and stuff like that. And I didn't know they also put more emphasis on Ellie's mother and Marlene's relationship because that wasn't. I didn't know they knew each other for their whole lives. I thought they were just like Firefly buddies or whatever. But to each their own, right? Um, so we get to the giraffe scene, beautiful. We get Ellie, being out of spacey, all of that, which is fantastic. Um, we get our ladder scene where usually Joel hoists Ellie up and then Ellie drops a ladder. So we finally got that. That was pretty cool. I could see press triangle on the TV, but we had that. The giraffe was pretty cool. But then we fast forward, we get to the camp, and that's where things change. So because in the game they're in like a tunnel system, I think there's infected in there. They get trapped under some current of water in a bus, and Joel is trying to save Ellie, and Ellie's trying to save Joel. Whatever. I get why this was changed because first of all, that's a lot of money, and second of all, it tells the same events. It's you get captured by the Fireflies. That's it, and that's fine. Um, but other than that, we get a smoke grenade, which I had to learn. I learned this like a year or two ago that like smoke and flashbangs and stuff, they still concuss you. It's not like a smoke grenade goes off and it's just, I don't know, like that shit will explode. And if you're in the epicenter, you're like, oh shit. But, anyways, they get captured by the Fireflies. Ellie's getting prepped for surgery because cordyceps is in the brain and we need to remove her brain and all that to get the cure or whatever. And they called it a cure, not a vaccine, because in the original title, in the original game, they call it a vaccine, not a cure. So this is more like a definite, I guess, for like viewers. This is like, no, Ellie is the cure 100%. It's not a vaccine. It's not if maybe. If we do this, Ellie can be the cure. Um, and we have the whole reveal that, Ellie has to die for this and stuff like that. And Joel and Marlene are battling against each other with words like, "Hey, how could you do this? I made a promise to her," and Marlene's like, "I made a promise to her too, bro, way before you." So that's very interesting. Then she's like, "Yo, leave this dude on a ditch in the highway, whatever the hell. Leave him in the highway, and if he tries anything, shoot him." And then we get video game Joel. We get the Joel that we've all played as. No nonsense, smoking everybody in that hospital exactly like the game. We get the rifle that they use in multiplayer. That rifle that he uses is the base rifle they give you in multiplayer. We get the lines like, "I don't have time for this," shoots him. What's crazy is he uses Ellie's knife for once, and he kills a dude, which is crazy when he runs out of ammo and the dude's on the ground. He kills him with Ellie's knife, which is insane. But we see him take out everybody with precision, with John Wick likeness, like what we've expected. And then he gets to the doctor, and this ending, the way they killed the doctor here, I thought he was gonna use the scalpel and jab him in the throat, but in here they chose to shoot him in the head option, and damn, that was crazy. That Yo, that shit was more abrupt than anything. He said, "Wow!" I was like, "Oh shit!" I didn't expect that. I knew you had to kill him, but not like that, bro. Then he turns the. What's crazy is that when he turned the nurses around, I was like, he about to blow their heads off too. Holy shit! But no, no, no. Um, he picks up Ellie. They unstrap her from the bed, and on his way, meets Marlene in the parking lot, smokes Marlene. Which I'm glad they kept that Marlene was begging for her life at the end, and I'm glad they kept that scene in as well because it shows like Joel's not a good guy. Again, to reinforce Joel's not a good guy, that's what they do. And then we get the ending where they traveling, Joel's opening up, they reach Jackson, and she's like, "Swear to me, everything you told me was true." Because he said, "Oh, raiders came in. There's a bunch of girls like you, a bunch of kids like you. They can't find the cure, whatever." And she's like, "Swear to me." He's like, "Yeah, I swear." And then right when she's shaking her head, says, "Okay." Boom, credits. That's exactly how the game ends for people who never play the game. That's how it ends. You're left with that ambiguous ending. But let's go over a few things, okay? Number one, they closed up. They did a real big close up on that doctor because we know what happens if you play the games. What happens when you kill. Not what happens when you kill the doctor. The consequences of Joel's actions when he kills that doctor. But we know why they did that. It's whatever. Then we get no, we don't get anything else. There was no post. I was gonna expect a post credit scene of like The Last of Us 2 and we see a certain character or something like that. But no, nothing like that. This episode for me, because I watched it with my wife and my brother. Brother and I played the game. Wife didn't. She loved it. I loved it. We all loved it. To me, this episode was like a damn near maybe 10 out of 10 because that was literally word beat by beat the game. That ending scene. That was, you couldn't. You know how good that was? When Joel kills those two guys in the stairs, the camera movement is so he kills the guys on the stairs. Goes up the stairs, camera still tracking him like this, but once he picks up the weapon and everything and heads out the door, camera shifts right behind Joel, and you get an over-the-shoulder view, which is like you just play the game. You play the game, you watch your cutscene, over-the-shoulder view, now you're playing. So, chef's kiss. That was amazing. But I really, 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 really like this series. It did it justice. I don't care. No, not infected. What you call it? Not much infected. There's not much infected in the world, and they were disappeared halfway through. And this episode should have been longer, or this episode should have been good. Listen, I think if they're smart enough to know what needed to be cut and what needed to be kept, and the story they told. All the steps were met. Like every story beat that mattered, they nailed that shit 100%. And again, yeah, more infected. Yeah, sure. We'll put in more infected, but that didn't bother me because at the end of the day, The Last of Us is a human story. It's not like The Walking Dead. Like the infected are all around and now there's people. No, in The Last of Us, the people, no matter what, are the monsters. The cordyceps virus or whatever, that's just nature now that people have to deal with, and it's the end of the world, whatever. But it is a human story about love, and we don't need that many infected in the show. We know there's infected. We know there's a whole problem, whatever. But the best moments of The Last of Us as a game and a series are with character-to-character, interactions. Because people are saying, there's not much infected, whatever. That was only entertaining because we were killing the infected. Like, we were playing through those actions. We were killing those dozens and dozens of bad guys and everything. That wouldn't happen, obviously, in real life. And obviously, in real life, the show is fake, whatever. But that wouldn't happen like that. You know what I mean? And you would get bored. You would get bored of 25 minutes of Joel trying to sneak past infected and people. You wouldn't watch it. And my light died. Oh well. But yeah, you wouldn't watch that shit. But yeah, show, seriously, a 9 out of 10. I could have gone without the first half of the of the episode with the two brothers. I forget their name already. Sam and Henry. I could have gone a little bit shorter because I knew the gist. I know this is a group of people, and it's just people surviving. But that was my only gripe. And I guess no, not even the infected amount. Perfectly fine. They want to add more, add more. But seriously, 9 out of 10. If I never play the games, 10 out of 10, for real. Because if I'm thinking, watching it with the wife and never play the games. I'm watching this as I'm putting in her mindset. I've never played the games. I'm watching this entire story unfold for the first time, and I remember how I felt watching the entire story for the first time, like unfold before my eyes. 10 out of 10, easy. But that's been my review. That's been my synopsis of the whole thing. Also, wait a minute. They should have asked Ellie. They should have asked Ellie if you want to die for the cure of humanity or not. That was the problem. If they asked Ellie, she would have said yes. Ellie would have said yes 100%. Because she's already in that mindset, like, this can't all be for nothing. Like, I can't go back without doing anything. And Joel and Marlene took that away from her. So they're both the bad guys at the end of the day. I know it's about love and stuff, but Ellie was robbed of her choice. And that's the crux of the whole thing. But anyways, beautiful story, beautiful storytelling, beautiful. Pedro Pascal, Latino power, let's go. Ellie's actress, Bella Ramsey, fantastic. Marlene is Marlene, because Marlene is also based as the character. But anyways, pretty amazing. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.